this make you 1-0 then, or?
Are you counting when Skip gets ejected in the middle of the game, or just?
No. Well, I don't know. I guess we should count those too, right?
If you count those, we have a pretty good record. Yeah, I think we lost one to TCU his first year, but other than that, I think we won every one.
Yeah.
So, good players make you look like you know what you're doing.
Hunter Jump has been on fire lately, and then tonight again was arguably the most productive player out there. What have you seen from him, just in him coming back and then being as good as he's been? What have you seen?
Yeah, I mean, he's a threat. Hunter has elite hand-eye, and I mean, I think if you look at the strikeouts, they're near the bottom of our team. He has 6 strikeouts in the year. So he's a good guy to have up in a big spot because he's not scared and you know he's going to move the baseball. And back-to-back nights, he's come up later in the game with a chance to give us the lead, and he's done it both times. I think when you talk to Hunter, you understand he's not lacking self-confidence, and so he's a guy that wants to be in that spot and really embraces the big spots.
And that Nebraska loss when Bryce got roughed up a little bit, do you think that kind of lit a fire underneath him to bring out like what we saw tonight?
I don't think Bryce is lacking any motivation or the work ethic. So I think he had a tough day. That day the wind was blowing about 30 miles an hour out, and I think he's got an elite breaking ball, and I think you guys saw that tonight. And if you look at the strikeout numbers in the season, I think that's going to play a lot this year. I think both those freshman right-handers that we bring out of the pen, Cam and Bryce, both throw really, really good breaking balls. And you look at some of the takes against a good hitting team, even the better hitters in the lineup, they looked uncomfortable against Breaker.
Do you think when Tracy went out there last night, even though he ended up, what happened, that there's like a motivational, I got your back kind of thing that plays out, in a certain sense?
Yeah, I think it always gets guys going. I think he threw him out so quickly. It wasn't one of those deals where he was out there arguing and the bench was getting into it. It just kind of happened pretty quickly. And the nice thing about our team is we have such a mature group that it's not a lot of ups and downs. It's a pretty steady group that it's kind of that next man up, no matter who it is.
Tracy said yesterday that he thought leading up to the game that the team looked tired and just from the travel that had happened throughout the week. Did you notice a difference prior to today's game in just the atmosphere around the team than you might have noticed yesterday?
Not really, to be honest. I thought guys were locked in batting practice. I thought we'd have good in and out. Anytime a head coach isn't in the dugout, there's a little change in the dynamic. Whether just for whatever reason, it changes the dynamic in the dugout. And so I think guys handled it well. I think guys were mature in the dugout. You look at especially our position players, you got a lot of guys, pitchers that are down in the pen, but the position guys that are in the dugout, it's a mature group. So I don't think it changed a whole bunch, to be honest.
How is that dynamic different when you're in the dugout in charge versus when Tracy's in the dugout in charge?
It's not much different. I mean, honestly, I still go to third. Mike stays in the dugout. JK stays in the dugout. It's not very different at all. It's just a different voice, maybe. But that's it.
Nate Bias has been very impressive lately with the bat. What do you think of what he's been able to do lately?
I love him. I love the way he competes. I love the way he prepares. I think he is going to be a star. I think his flexibility allows him to play some multiple positions, the second base and the catch. He's a guy we want in the lineup. And as McLean gets healthy and starts working his way back in there, it's going to be a challenge. But we want Nate in the batter's box because he's such a tough-minded kid from a tough family. He brings an element of competitiveness and toughness to the lineup that we really like having.
If Swift could come back tomorrow, I don't know if he can or not, but if he can, would you try to get Bias behind the plate just to give Chima?
Yeah, the plan today originally was to have Swift at second and Bias behind the plate, and then we scrapped it, obviously with Swift being out. Justin Fall's tough to catch, and with a converted catcher, you know, if you were to see the TrackMan data with Justin Fall, you'll see some swing and miss on fastball by like this much because there's so much depth to his fastball. And so we like having the experienced catcher to receive him. But yeah, honestly, we haven't talked about it yet, but the plan was to rest Chima today. So we'll see. Just get together as a group and talk about it.
Do you think he's holding up fine?
Chima?
So, to this point, yeah.
Yeah, I do. He's a great story, as obviously you guys know. He's been through everything. You know, he's been here, he's been in a junior college, he's been another 4-year, he's been cut from a 4-year, he's come back. It's like the best story in college baseball, and now he's put in a spot where after 3.5 years of traveling all over the country and trying to get on the field, he's catching every day. And if you were to ask him, he doesn't want to come off the field. And, you know, our guys joke with him, but when he, you know, wears a foul ball in the hand, it's like a joke. Like he always says, I don't even feel that, because he won't come out of a game. So he's in good shape. You know, I thought that was a huge play today. The strikeout from Bryce, and then they still down 5, and he comes right back and makes a big play. I was proud of him.
It didn't necessarily look like Thornton had the stuff that we've seen in the first 3 starts leading up to today.
Yeah.
What did you think you saw from him tonight?
I thought he competed. I mean, I do. I thought he competed. I thought he threw strikes. I thought he still got a lot of swing and miss on his fastball. I think he gave you a chance to win the game. He went 5 1/3 and 80-some pitches. That's a good start in my estimation. So I thought he was good. They're a good hitting team. I mean, they've got a lot of veteran hitters. And I think what he was able to do with Simeon and Fresno was really good. And those guys are good, mature hitters with strength and ability to lead the yard.
How much depth does it put back into the lineup when Alika is able to get on base now consistently? Because last night he's got 2 hits, tonight he got 2 hits again, and it's kind of just been hard contact with no results up until recently.
Yeah.
What does that do for the lineup?
It changes everything because you pitch to Torque. I mean, you have Alika on base, you pitch to Torque, it changes the game. And even when Torque gets out, I mean, it's amazing because it's such a, like, coaching third with the other dugout right there. When they get him out, it's like the greatest joy of the night, and it's amazing how quiet the dugout gets when Torque's up. And I think people realize how special of a hitter he is. So when you're forced to pitch to him, you know, especially tonight, bases loaded early on, he flew out, hard contact. But Alika getting on in front of him, I think it totally changed our lineup.